Tuesday continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Free Legal Assistance Group says detained Dr. Maria Natividad Castro is yet to be informed of the exact case against her. In a statement, FLAG said the doctor's family members were allowed to visit her at the police headquarters in Bayugan, Agusan del Sur on Saturday. But since courts are still closed, they still don't have the full details on Castro's arrest. FLAG also maintained that Castro is neither a communist rebel nor a terrorist, and that they will look at all possible legal remedies to help her. The Commission of Senior Citizens says most seniors are willing to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Speaking at yesterday's Laging Handa briefing, National Commission of Senior Citizens Chairperson Franklin Quijano said some LGUs have a good campaign to address vaccine hesitancy. He added that as more of the elderly get inoculated against COVID-19, they could potentially further boost the country's vaccination drive.
Basically, ang mga senior citizens groups are convinced. May mga ilang lugar lang na hindi pa napapaabot yung information, vaccination, and communication. Ang dami pong walang vaccine hesitancy.
Now, after authorities painted over a mural supporting the Lenny Kiko tandem in Isabela, youth volunteers remain unhampered as they make more pink walls throughout the province. Marian Enriquez with the story.
In this highway along Barangay San Placido in Rojas, Isabela, a group of youth can be seen painting this wall pink with the phrase Rosas para sa Rojas in big bold letters. They are youth volunteers for Lenny and Kiko here in Isabela. They said the materials they are using are all donations from the supporters of Vice President Lenny Robredo and Senator Kiko Pangilinan.
We were trying to break that invisible wall since nasa north, solid north, and lahat naman kami mulat na sa katotohanan. Yung goal po talaga is to inspire others or yung mga tahimik dito na ipakita na may mga kakamping na hindi solid north ang Isabela.
Recall that Isabela Governor Rodito Albano earlier claimed that the province is a Marcos country. Albano has also formally endorsed the Marcos Duterte tandem.
Ito talaga Marcos country. Doon pa, kahit di pupunta dahil doon sa mga ginawa ng tatay niya. Di ba man yun, yung dam. Yung dam.
Mga 80% makuha.
80%. Conservative, 80%.
In fact, the first pink wall painted by volunteers in Echague, Isabela was erased, then later vandalized. However, the youth supporters from Rojas, Isabela were not discouraged. They made some alterations to the mural and removed the name of Lenny to prevent it from being erased again.
Mas nagtungo kami dun sa symbolism na route. Siguro naman yung pagka-pink at pagka-rosas ay maiintindihan na rin ng mga tao.
Robredo's youth supporters also admit that they often receive harsh words from passers-by in the province as many are in support of Marcos Jr.
Kadalasan po kasi yung mga dumadaan dito since highway, may mga titigil, may mga iikot and babalik na BBM kami, Lenny, lugaw, lugaw yan, ganun po. Pero at some point, nasasaktan pa rin po kami, pero kailangan po talaga namin tumindig para po malaman na may boses talaga ang mga kabataan dito sa Isabela kahit pa sabihin nilang province of Marcos po ito.
However, they remain unfazed and more determined to fight for their freedom to express support for the Robredo-Pangilinan tandem. For News 5, Marian Enriquez, we are One News.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Manila Bay Dolomite Beach will still be closed to the public as the government rushes to finish rehabilitation in the area before the end of President Duterte's term. Shaila Francisco with the story.
Nelia and her relatives who came all the way from Las Piñas were surprised to see that Manila Bay Dolomite Beach is closed to the public. They initially planned activities to do inside.
Papahangin, picture. First time naming makadaan dito.
But Nelia and other visitors need to wait a little bit more for the artificial beach to reopen. This is because water quality in the area has not yet passed the standard level for swimming.
Nahihirapan kami dahil makita nyo meron pang mga illegal na pipes na kailangan natin isarado sa bandara, lalo na sa mga Rizal Park. So, ang gusto natin talagang package na buo na so that buo na yung may offer nating service sa ating mga kababayan na pwede na silang mag-sightseeing dito, and at the same time the water quality is already safe.
While they address problems on water quality, they will continue rehabilitation works along the Baywalk. This includes laying the remaining dolomite sand in other parts, as well as dredging, setting up of pipes, and treating the water in the area. The Environment Department is also working on finishing the viewing area in Remedio Circle in Malate, Manila. Together with the Defense Department, they also plan to install a replica of a heritage cannon used during the Battle of Manila Bay in 1898. The agencies will bring it all the way from Corregidor so people who can't go to the island can see a glimpse of history nearby. The DNR aims to finish the rehabilitation and make the beach swimmable before the end of President Duterte's term. Shaila Francisco, We Are One News.
7 Masungi Geo Reserve Forest Rangers were injured after workers from a nearby illegal resort attacked them on Friday. According to Masungi Managing Trustee Ann Dumaliang, a group of 20 people mobbed the rangers after they tried to conduct an inspection at the resort. The rangers' cars were also damaged in the incident. Dumaliang said that they are now looking to take legal action against the workers.
Dapat walang mga ganitong developments doon. Maliban na lang kung meron silang permit, no? And meron silang tenure over the land, which clearly they don't have. Ano ang nangyayari dito, talagang meron kang selfish, makasariling private interest na nilalabanan yung public need for a clear and a good forest to protect everyone, from flooding, from the worsening climate crisis.
Here are the top stories we're following in the world of sports. A night after its runaway win over Ginebra in the PBA Governors Cup, the TNT Tropang Giga-led Gilas Pilipinas is now gearing up for the first window of the 2023 FIBA World Cup Asian qualifiers. Gilas is set to play 4 games in 5 days, twice against South Korea, then New Zealand and India. Northport Batang Pier has finally won its first game in the PBA Governors Cup. This comes after they gave the Murals Cobalts their first defeat, 109-98. Coach Pido Harencio said it only took 1 practice for Robert Bolick's spark to renew the confidence of the team. Bolick finished with 22 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals. But since Bolick will be playing for Gilas, Northport is forced to face the next games without their star point guard. And for its farewell tour in the PBA, the Alaska Aces fought back from a 20-point down deficit to steal a 102-97 victory over the Terra Firma Jeep. Jeron Teng logged his career best game after scoring for 30 big points for the Aces. With this victory, Alaska strengthened their grip on the 3rd place in the PBA Governors Cup. Cryptocurrencies took the investment world by storm when they first appeared on the market. But now that it's entering its teenage years, what's next for crypto? Bloomberg's Eddie Van der Walt tells us in this report.
Crypto enters the difficult teenage years. At the age of 13, Bitcoin is now well and truly a teenager. And as every parent knows, these are troublesome years. cryptocurrencies have established themselves as viable investable assets on the radar of traders around the globe. Now comes the moment when they must find their identity and assert their place in portfolios everywhere. Not too long ago, it was easy to find voices saying Bitcoin was at worst a scam and at best a mass delusion, which would return to the intrinsic value of the zeros and ones it's made of. That became harder last year as the financial infrastructure leapt forward. These developments made the inflow of institutional money possible. Exchange-traded products mentioning Bitcoin in their description now contain nearly 12 billion in holdings. In the US, a Pro Shares product that launched in October now has more than $1 billion in assets. Aggregate open interest on the CME's Bitcoin futures contract has trended higher since launch. Such products will also eventually come to other crypto assets like Ethereum. And there's a good chance that these alternative assets will move the future of crypto into a new direction. That will create trouble and turmoil as the battle for the heart of crypto rages on. Remember, at its foundation, Bitcoin represented 100% of the total market value of cryptocurrencies. But with every year that passes, that percentage falls. According to CoinMarketCap, it now comprises just over 40% of the total value. The fact, then, is that crypto appears to have a bright future. But exactly what that future looks like, no one can say for sure. I'm Eddie van der Walt. This is Decrypted. For more content like this, follow us on your favorite platforms.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 1:30 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.